Welcome to our awesome video, where we're going to dive into what life is like in Europe and how it differs from the USA. We absolutely love both places. And hey, let's not forget that the USA is like a whole continent itself, with different states, while Europe is a continent packed with a bunch of countries, each with its own unique culture. It might seem a little weird to compare them, but why not? So grab your popcorn, because we're about to make a super fun video exploring all the cool differences between Europe and the USA. Let's get started. Free education is a great perk in most European countries, covering tuition fees for bachelor's and master's degrees. However, it's important to note that this doesn't include your living expenses. Thankfully, many governments in Europe provide financial assistance to students by offering grants or allowances for rent. Healthcare. Generally speaking, most European nations have some form of universal healthcare, ensuring that everyone has equal access to high-quality healthcare that improves their well-being. When it comes to medication, in most countries, individuals are required to pay a percentage of the total cost, or they may even receive medications completely free of charge. Some medications may require a prescription, which can be obtained for free from a hospital or for a nominal fee from a doctor, typically around €10. Drawing from personal experience, a family member of mine had to stay in the hospital for 4 days not long ago. During their stay, they received necessary medications, underwent various health tests, and were visited by multiple doctors. Additionally, meals were provided for both the patient and the person caring for them. Total cost, €0. It's important to note that these healthcare services are funded through taxes. Oh, and it's worth mentioning that ambulance services are generally free of charge as well. Work and holidays. Working hours typically consist of 40 hours per week. However, the specific regulations regarding paid holidays may vary depending on the country. In general, employees are entitled to a certain number of paid vacation days, which can range from 20 to 40 days. The allocation of these days can be flexible and agreed upon between the employee and the HR director. For instance, you can choose to take all of your vacation days consecutively or split them up throughout the year, perhaps taking 5 days now and another 5 days in a month's time. It's important to note that if you fail to utilize your entitled vacation days, the company is legally obligated to ensure you receive them. Water and refills. In a restaurant, you can have free water, which will be tap water. Typically, when you are seated, the staff may bring you bottled water, for which they will charge you. However, if you prefer tap water, you are well within your rights to request it at no additional cost. It's important to note that while tap water is offered for free, refills for coffee or other beverages usually come at a price. This practice is generally considered fair since the restaurant or cafe incurs expenses in providing additional servings of beverages. Therefore, apart from tap water, refills are not provided free of charge. Tips. Tips aren't as mandatory in Europe as they are in the US. It's more of a tip at your own discretion kind of culture. You have the freedom to tip as generously as you'd like, but in Europe, tipping typically occurs when customers are pleased with the service they receive. Unlike in some other countries, servers in Europe are generally paid enough to sustain themselves, so they don't rely solely on tips. However, that being said, gratuities are always appreciated and warmly welcomed by service staff. So, if you're happy with the service, feel free to show your appreciation with a tip. It will surely make their day. Paying for grocery bags. In supermarkets, there is a charge for plastic bags, and it's all for the sake of the environment. When you're ready to pay, the cashier will kindly inquire if you require bags to carry your items. It's a gentle reminder to either bring your own reusable bag or contribute a small fee to support environmental initiatives. Oh, and here's a friendly tip: you're responsible for packing your own bags, so make sure to lend a hand and do the bagging yourself. Restaurant. When you visit a restaurant and the servers bring you the receipt, don't worry, it's not a signal for you to rush through your meal and leave. The purpose of the receipt is primarily for tax audit purposes. Once you've finished your meal and are ready to depart, you can simply call the server over and request the final bill, especially if you've ordered anything additional since your initial order. If you prefer to pay with a credit card, no need to fret. The waiter will conveniently swipe the card right in front of you using a portable machine. In many countries, you might even be pleasantly surprised by a complimentary welcome from the chef, a complimentary dessert, or a plate of fresh fruit. Here's another interesting tidbit about restaurants. In most European countries, especially in popular tourist destinations, you'll find menus that include descriptions in at least 2 languages. Additionally, it's a legal requirement for menus to indicate if any food items are frozen. Public toilets. You may have heard that you have to pay to use public toilets in Europe, but that's not the case everywhere. In fact, there are countries where you won't encounter any charges at all. Rest assured, privacy is a top priority in European toilets. There won't be any gaps to worry about, ensuring your privacy while you take care of your business. Occasionally, you might notice a small gap at the bottom of the door to indicate if someone is inside. Taxes. Taxes can vary between countries, but here's the good news: they are already included in the prices you see. Whether you're dining out at a restaurant or shopping for clothes, the prices you encounter already factor in the taxes. So, there's no need to fret about any additional charges. However, it's worth noting that in certain services, such as car repairs, the costs can vary depending on the nature of the damages. In these cases, they will provide you with a cost estimate and let you know that the tax is not included. Maternity leave. When the magical moment of welcoming a new life into the world approaches, it's time to take a break from work and enjoy the precious moments with your little one. The duration of maternity leave varies from country to country, ranging from a few months to even 1 or 2 years. This benefit isn't just for mothers, it's available for fathers too, or even both parents together. The best part? You'll receive payment during your time off, thanks to the support provided by the government. Birth. When it comes to welcoming your bundle of joy into the world, some countries go the extra mile to support new parents. In these places, they provide you with a delightful package that includes clothes, diapers, and other useful items to help you during those precious first days at home with your baby. In other countries, if you find yourself needing to secure employment and don't have anyone to care for your little one, the government steps in to lend a helping hand. They offer financial assistance to cover the cost of a babysitter, ensuring you have the support you need during those crucial hours. But that's not all. In certain countries, you may even receive a one-time payment of around €1,500 to help you with your initial expenses related to your newborn. It's a wonderful gesture to provide some financial relief during this special time. When it's time for the big day, most countries ensure that you have a comfortable stay in the hospital. Whether you have a normal birth or undergo a C-section, you can rest easy knowing that the entire cost is covered. Yes, you heard that right. It's absolutely free. And don't worry about additional medical needs. Whether it's an epidural injection or the baby needing care in an incubator for a month or 2, the expenses are taken care of as well. While there may be options for private clinics that come with their own costs, even then, your insurance coverage, which you pay for through taxes, can help reduce the financial burden. It's important to note that these provisions vary from country to country. Of course, there are differences between Europe and the USA. But you know what? That's what makes each place unique and beautiful in its own way. It's not about one being better than the other, it's about celebrating the diversity and richness of different countries and cultures. It's all about appreciating the beauty of these different places and embracing the wonderful experiences they provide. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this journey. If you enjoyed learning about Europe, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more fascinating facts and insights.